JARAD Anthony Higgins, known throughout his musical career as Juice Wrld, was a 21-year-old rapper, singer, and songwriter from Chicago, Illinois. And although he met his fateful end back in December of 2019 due to an overdose of oxycodone and codeine, fans have continued to remember him for his flowing lyrics and incredible taste in expensive jewelry. Well, whether you're a fan of the lucid dreamer or just want to know more about what he did with his riches while he was still alive, you've come to the right place, as we're about to explore everything there is to know about his million-dollar jewelry collection. So strap yourselves in and get ready to see some brilliant pieces, as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Interact with us. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be notified when we upload more content. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Thanks! Number 1. His heart skull chain. The first item that Juice Wrld spent a small fortune on was his creative broken heart pendant and chain, which is a far cry from the other pieces that rappers at the time were spending their hard-earned cash on. Rather than going for a piece of gold or platinum covered from head to toe in white diamonds, Juice Wrld decided to use those creative juices of his to design a pendant that would both look incredible and mean something special. He settled on the concept of a heart pendant, later changing it to a broken heart from which a skull is emerging. He then topped this design off with 999 numbering, which is a symbol that he actually popularized back in the day. For those of you who don't know, 999 is the popular opposite of 666, which is considered by many to be the number of the devil, such as Juice Wrld stated that 999 represents someone taking the bad situation that they're in and flipping it into something positive with the intention of motivating them further. It's a brilliant symbol that places success over and above the mentality of victimhood, which is something that Juice Wrld absolutely hated. So together you could say that the pendant represented Juice Wrld's fear of death and heartbreak and how he had overcome it to make it to the top. The entirety of the pendant was made out of pure gold and laser cut into the design that Juice wanted. The broken heart was then covered with purple diamonds, leaving only a small area open on each end of its broken piece. This created a brilliant contrast between the purple and gold, emphasizing that his heart had been broken, most likely because of the death of Tupac Shakur, who he got a stage name from. The skull representing death was then covered in white diamonds except for its nostril and eye holes, which were colored black for further contrast. Last but not least, the 999 above the skull was left a shimmering gold and flowed into a loop through which a chain could be connected. And speaking of chains, Juice Wrld was usually seen rocking a pretty thick diamond-encrusted platinum chain, which looked to be just as expensive as the pendant itself. This meant that depending on the chain being used, the combined total could be anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 US. Fans of the late rapper will also be happy to hear that they can buy a replica of his pendant from Iced Up London, who are currently selling the piece for around €119 or $145. Although not as expensive as Juice's actual piece, complete with 24-karat gold-plated material and premium quality cubic zirconia stones, they were able to get both the look and weight of the pendant right. So if you want to feel closer to Juice or just love what the pendant represents to him, go ahead and visit their site to learn more. Number 2. His 999 skull pendant. This isn't the only pendant that Juice Wrld used as a symbol for his motivation over death though, with the next piece of our list representing something similar to the rapper. We are of course referring to his 999 skull pendant, which is a lot less colorful and smaller than his broken heart pendant, but conveys a very similar message at the end of the day. According to the reports, the rapper spent around $75,000 US to commission this piece for himself, which he designed alongside top-notch jewelers in Los Angeles, knowing fully well that he wanted a skull to hang around his neck, as well as the addition of his 999 mantra. Juice decided to incorporate the two and include a little bit of color. The pendant that he settled on was in the shape of a skull, laser cut out of pure platinum. This skull was then covered from head to toe in white diamonds, except for its nostril, which was colored black for contrast. Diamonds were also layered perfectly across the bottom of the skull to resemble teeth, which were designed to look as if they were chomping down on an iron that had been layered with white and purple diamonds. Last but not least, the eyes of the skull were left off and replaced by a triangular layering of the 999 mantra, showing that when he was still alive, Juice saw the world through a positive mantra. The top of the skull was then connected to a platinum loop through which a thin chain could be attached. A replica of this pendant is actually also being sold by Iced Up London right now for the same price as the replicated broken heart pendant. And better yet, the jeweler is currently running a special where both pendants are being sold for the low price of €119 or $145. So if you wanted to pay homage to your favorite rap artist and have some spare money money lying around, you know exactly what to do with it. Number 3. His 999 Club Pendant. The next item on our list once more makes reference to the famous Juice Wrld mantra, but is by far considered to be one of the most classy items that Juice spent his hard-earned cash on. This 999 Club Pendant, as it has come to be called, doesn't employ the use of colorized diamonds and as such could be worn with next to any outfit. Juice was also known to wear this piece to events such as the Grammys, where he was required to rock something stylish while remaining as classy as possible. This pendant was made out of pure platinum and is consisted of the 999 logo flowing into the word club, which is unsurprisingly where Juice liked to spend a lot of his time and money. This numbering and lettering was then covered completely in the usual white diamond overlay, but for the inner portions of the 3 nines. Rather than leaving these inner portions empty, Juice decided to add golden skulls with 2 black diamonds each to represent their eyes. Black lining was then used to colorize their features and make them stand out more. The pendant was then connected to a lateral bar through which a loop was connected, and in the case of this pendant, even the loop had been covered in white diamonds up to a solid point. It was then through this loop that either a thick or thin chain could be connected, allowing Juice to rock it around his neck at all sorts of events. And we're guessing that you won't be surprised to hear that Iced Out London have also created a replica of this famous pendant. The replica has 24-karat gold plating on the skulls, white gold plating on the pendant itself, and is brought together with a collection of premium quality cubic zirconia stones. Since the pendant is currently being sold for €119 or $145, you'll have to head on over to the site right now if you want to have your own piece of Juice Wrld history hanging around your neck. But otherwise, just appreciate the piece that Juice had himself, as it's what the piece represented that was truly important. Number 4. His diamond spiked choker. Another piece that Juice loved to wear was his diamond spiked choker, which surprisingly made the wearing of chokers by guys something that was both acceptable and stylish. This piece had absolutely zero meaning behind it, other than the meaning that the general public went on to paint it with. According to fans, it was a symbol for Juice being who he was and not caring about what society thought of him. Remember, at that point in time, guys weren't really known for wearing chokers, which since the 18th century has been regarded as female apparel. The piece was also pretty simple and came in the form of a leather strap that had spikes attached to it. But rather than having pure metal spikes like the emo kids of yesteryear, Juice had these spikes made of pure platinum, decorating them with white diamonds so that they glimmered in the sunlight. Suffice it to say, this set him apart from the goth kids down at Hot Topic. It must also be said that Juice never wore this choker of his alone, always complementing it with a selection of expensive-looking chains that hung down below it. No reports seem to indicate what the rapper ended up paying for this piece, but fans have assumed that it was somewhere in the wheelhouse of around $25,000. Either way, it looked absolutely sick around Juice's neck. Number 5. His bullet chain combo. Juice featured another one of his favorites in an Instagram post back in September of 2019, where he dressed up like the lone survivor of the Area 51 raid. At least that's what the caption of the post suggested he was portraying. The piece around his neck was pretty simple and came in the form of a complementary combination. The one portion was a solid thick chain composed of large diamonds, which looked to be quite expensive. Once more, there are no reports as to the value of this diamond chain, but experts suggest that it could have cost anywhere between $50,000 to $60,000. This chain was then complemented by an assault rifle bullet through which a thinner chain had been looped. The combination screamed both wealth and power, with Juice bringing an entire look together with the puff of some smoke of a cigar. It's a look that fans will always remember and shows just how much Juice loved internet culture. Number 6. His platinum lock. Last but not least is another simple piece that we just couldn't leave off this list. We are of course referring to Juice Wrld's platinum lock, which looked exactly the same as any old key lock that you would use to secure your locker in high school, except for the fact that it was pure platinum, of course. Juice often wore this piece around his neck and never disclosed just how much he had paid for it, which is why some of his fans do exactly the same to this day. But what do you think of his collection? Be sure to let us know in the comments section down below.